In the annals of history, there are moments when the world teeters on the edge of darkness, when despair threatens to crush hope, and when the very idea of survival seems impossible. It is in these moments that true leaders are revealed. This is the story of a leader who refused to surrender, a leader whose courage and resilience inspired not just a nation, but the entire world, a story inspired by the indomitable spirit of Winston Churchill. It began in a time when shadows of fear and uncertainty stretched across the land. Enemy forces advanced with terrifying precision, conquering territories with brutal efficiency. Cities fell, armies were defeated, and the people of the nation whispered prayers in the quiet of their homes, unsure of what tomorrow might bring. The weight of uncertainty pressed on everyone, but no one felt it as heavily as the leader himself. Within the walls of government, debates raged. Advisors urged caution. Some even suggested surrender, whispering words that felt like poison. Perhaps it is too late, they said. Perhaps we are doomed. But the leader, standing tall against the tide of doubt, refused to give in. He knew that surrender was not an option. He understood that leadership was not about avoiding fear, it was about confronting it head-on, with courage, clarity, and unwavering determination. Every day brought new challenges. Reports of defeats arrived with alarming frequency. Cities that had once been safe were now under siege. The people's morale was fragile, and whispers of hopelessness echoed through the streets. And yet, he never wavered. Every morning, he faced the reality of the situation, but instead of succumbing to despair, he crafted a plan. He reminded himself that true leadership is measured not by comfort, but by the courage to act when the world says you cannot. He spoke to the people with a voice that carried both honesty and hope. He did not promise easy victories, for there were none to promise. But he offered something far more powerful: belief that unity, courage, and determination could turn the tide, even against overwhelming odds. In one of his most famous declarations, he vowed, "We shall never surrender." These were not just words, they were a call to arms for the soul of a nation. But the path was far from easy. The enemy was relentless, their forces vast and well-equipped. Allies were hesitant, some even doubtful. Within the halls of government, disagreements threatened to fracture the fragile unity of the nation, and in the quiet of his office, alone, the leader faced the weight of responsibility that no one else could bear. There were nights when sleep eluded him, when worry gnawed at his resolve, when the losses seemed insurmountable. Yet, it was in these darkest hours that his character shone the brightest. He remembered that the measure of a leader is not in moments of comfort, but in moments of crisis. He refused to let fear dictate his actions. He refused to let despair cloud his vision. Every setback became a lesson. Every failure became a stepping stone. He believed that persistence, even in the face of overwhelming adversity, could achieve what others deemed impossible. He worked tirelessly, rallying soldiers, inspiring citizens, and forging alliances that would eventually turn the tide. He traveled, often at great personal risk, meeting with allies, negotiating with leaders, and reminding them that the stakes were too high for hesitation. He showed them, through words and deeds, that courage was contagious, that determination could rally hearts, and that unity could withstand even the fiercest storm. There were moments of personal struggle too. Friends and colleagues doubted his strategies. Critics called his decisions reckless, but he held firm. He understood that leadership required conviction, even when others questioned your every move. And he knew that hope, once ignited, could not easily be extinguished. As battles raged across lands far and wide, his leadership became the anchor of the nation. Soldiers, inspired by his resolve, fought with newfound courage. Citizens, buoyed by his words, endured hardships with unwavering faith. Every small victory, every strategic success, no matter how minor, was celebrated not with arrogance, but with gratitude and recognition of the collective effort. And slowly, ever so slowly, the tide began to turn. The enemy's advances faltered. Their confidence wavered. The very forces that once seemed unstoppable began to feel the weight of a determined people led by an unyielding leader. The world, watching in awe, realized that courage, vision, and relentless determination could indeed change history. This story is not only about battles fought on distant fields, It is about the battles each of us face in our own lives. The moments when the world seems against us, when fear whispers that we cannot succeed, and when surrender feels like the easier choice. But the lesson here is timeless. No matter how insurmountable the challenge, no matter how dark they are, refusing to surrender can change everything. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act despite fear. Persistence is not simply enduring hardship, it is refusing to let hardship dictate your destiny. And leadership is not about power, it is about the willingness to stand firm when everyone else doubts, to inspire others with your conviction, and to lead not just with words, but with unwavering action. So, when life seems overwhelming, remember this story. Stand firm, act with purpose, and refuse to surrender. Know that your courage has the power to inspire, your resilience has the power to change outcomes, and your determination has the power to transform the impossible into the achievable. One person, standing and yielding, can alter the course of history. One person refusing to surrender can inspire an entire world to do the same. And this is the ultimate lesson. No matter how dire the situation, hope can be renewed, courage can be found, and victory can emerge not by avoiding challenges, but by facing them with unwavering resolve. Remember, every act of courage, every stand you take against adversity, sends ripples that inspire others to stand strong alongside you. If this story moved you, if it reminded you of the power of persistence, courage, and unyielding leadership, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Spread the story of resilience and inspire others to embrace the power within themselves, because surrender is never the answer. Courage, persistence, and an unwavering heart are.